The next speaker will be Cedric Davis, our House District 13 candidate, very hardworking. We have gerrymandering in McLennan County, and he'll probably tell you about that.
You know that old saying, are you ready for some football? Are you ready for some voting? Come on, we can do it louder. Are you ready for some voting? Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself for those who do not know me. I am Cedric Davis. I'm 55. I live in Marlin, been there almost 4 years. I'm its city manager. Back in 2018, I ran for Texas governor. I was the third place finisher out of 11 candidates in the primary. So when Beto got 254, I just hit 82, so I'm a little slow behind him. But we traveled with our lieutenant governor candidate, Mike Collier. So I've been around a lot, been able to see what's going on in urban as well as rural since I've been living here for 4 years. Now, what's happening is in rural, we have our farmers. They're being neglected. They're not getting the subsidies that they need. Our education is good quality education in rural, but guess what? They need more and more broadband, things like that, so these kids don't have to sit on a corner to try to get broadband to do schoolwork. Also, people in rural area do not have medical care the way they should. The hospitals are closing. It takes an hour for ambulance to get there. And I'm gonna give you guys a story. When I went to Marlin, I was city manager, police chief, public works director. I held 3 titles at the same time. I had an 84-year-old gentleman die in my arms because of a car accident he had, and when I was right behind when this accident happened. I was right behind him. Well, we get the gentleman out. We're calling for an ambulance. They're 45 minutes to an hour out. We call for a helivac. They're an hour out. This gentleman died, and he didn't have to die. So that affected me. I've been in law enforcement 30 years. Death never bothered me. I'm a Desert Storm veteran. Death never bothered me. That bothered me because that gentleman didn't have to die. That stayed with me, so I said, okay, how can we improve this service? It got to be somewhere. I got to call some friends in Austin, Washington, and things like that. We got to get help out here. Well, they call themselves going to improve the services out there, but it really didn't improve. It's still like that today. We rely heavily on our volunteer firefighters out there. These guys are paying for their own equipment. They shouldn't have to pay for their own equipment. The state can help fund volunteer firefighters. If this is who we're going to rely on, these guys shouldn't have to put their own money into it. And they are dedicated firefighters. So that was another thing. Then the ice storm happened. I didn't see my state rep. I didn't see my governor. It took me, my mayor, and a group of volunteers. We called all over the country. We had supplies coming to help us fix our water plant. We had food, we had water. We had so much that we even shared with other communities. We even made international news, BBC, World News Tonight. That's because as a community, we came together to make sure we took care of each other. Our state government has not done that. We need people like Beto as our governor, as our leader. We need Mike Collier like our lieutenant governor. And we need all these candidates across the state to make sure Beto's agenda is met, because Beto's agenda is friendly to all Texans. So guys, it's not just about voting for me. Also, Erin, where Erin at? There she is. That's my running mate. She's running on the other side of Waco. She's running for, I'm running for the east side. She's running for all the other side. And I think Doc Anderson is who she's running against. So it's time to replace these individuals and put new people that have people in mind when they create their agendas. And I'm gonna give you a little bit about my professional background. I'm a retired police chief. I'm a retired public educator. I was the first black mayor of Balch Springs, Texas, which is a suburb of Dallas. I was the first African-American to finish in the top 3 for Texas governor in the history of Texas. So I believe in first, but I also believe in fighting for the people. One thing I learned from my mother and from the military, we don't leave nobody behind. And my mama always told me, reach back and bring somebody up. No matter how far you go, always remember where you came from, son. Also, always look professional. Look a person in the eye when you talk to them, and be honest when you tell them something. Those are the values that I'm planning on bringing to this seat. I will have an open door policy. And guess what? When I win, I ain't going to say if I win, but when I win, all y'all invited, because we're going to party in Austin. All right? Democratic Party in the house. Y'all take care.